What's good, y'all? For Complex, I'm Jordan Rose, and here with us today is a hip-hop legend, president of Harlem, your weatherman and mine, Jim Jones. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I can't complain. Look, you dressed for the weather, and I mean, it makes sense because you've been outside for like close to 3 decades now.
No, don't say it
Not like that, but you know what I mean.
Nah, I've been outside for a minute. I've been outside since the 1900s, since the late 1900s.
Real, that makes you a certified triple OG.
Oh, man. Thank you, my brother.
And I mean, you have, I feel like, anthems for different generations. Recently, Set the Trends, I feel like, is another anthem.
Takeoff.
R.I.P. Takeoff. The last Migos track altogether.
Yes.
How was that approach different? As someone who's been able to create, like I said, those kind of anthems for generations, what was the difference with Set the Trends and that approach compared to the past?
Just being able to be respected by the generation coming up, and it's a mutual understanding of what the music is, and Takeoff was just a different individual and shit like that. Like, you know, we had a real great relationship, and when we was in the studio, he like, nah, we gotta get one in, big bro. We gotta go. Like, nah, fuck that. And pull up the records, listen to a couple of beats. He picked the beat, and he gave me an alley-oop. R.I.P. to Takeoff, like I said again, very special individual. One of the closer friends that I had inside of this industry, and I don't have too many of them. Definitely was a genuine person, had a big heart. Haven't met too many people like him in life, not alone this rap game. I mean, so he definitely will be missed. My heart pours out to his moms and his family. R.I.P. Takeoff.
You said in a previous interview, which I thought was really interesting, that you feel like you're having like a second career now, and you're thankful for that.
Third career, maybe.
Give me the first, second, third. What would you define those?
The first would be Diplomat career.
100%.
Well, the first would be the career with Cam.
Right.
That would be when Cam got signed, and everything that we needed for Cam to become a superstar is what we did. Second introduction, I guess, would be the Diplomats and that whole movement and where it took me. And then from the Diplomats, it took me to having my own solo career, which was Jim Jones, and that was the whole balling era. And now, a decade later, we're in a whole nother zone, and I feel better than I ever felt.
Your energy is contagious, I won't lie. I feel it. I feel the confidence and the positivity in what's next.
Yes, that's where the energy comes from, trying to maintain the positivity, because I've been through a whole lot of shit. So at this point in my life, it's a different mission that I'm on, and still trying to be in this game, but I've done a lot, so I've been on a mission to give back.
And I mean, speaking of that energy, I feel like the energy was on full display for real at the Apollo with your brothers, with Drake.
Yeah.
Special moment in hip hop.
Very dope.
When did he hit y'all up about that to tap y'all?
It was, man, I mean, the date had got pushed back like a few times. So from the first date we had got in touch with him, and it was just like, it was not no more to be talked about. It was self-explanatory and things like that, especially when somebody really let Drake know the significance of him being in the Apollo. Is not the biggest crowd, it's not the, you know what I mean, but it's one of the most historic places that you can perform at, with all of the greats that you can run down the line, and also it's Dipset's home. You know, Drake has a lot of respect for coming up, listening to Dipset music, so it just was a full circle.
You know, I'm younger, but I've been around. I know Find Your Love remix. I was outside somewhat when you dropped that, so I know you've been tapped in with him for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, for you, where does Drake stand in hip hop history? You know,
I would say he's the greatest of all times. The relevancy that he keeps showing year after year, hit after hit, record after record. Any record that he has put out has seemed to go multiple platinum. Like, that's never has happened before in this history. I mean, there's a few other people that do astronomical numbers like that, but he really in it. Like, you know what I mean? From all angles of music. It ain't no place you can't go that they not gonna play some Drake records to get the party started. He moving around here like the real Bruce Wayne. Like he's my spirit animal, man. I just gotta give credit where credit is due, and not taking away from nobody else. Like, what Jay has done to this game is astronomical. Like, you dig? Like, he's like the Michael Jordan space in this game for what he has put on and what he has done since he's came in the game and where he's at right now. But Jay has kind of exited music a long time ago. Mm-hmm. You heard? And that space, that void, I don't know if it's a void, but Drake has not exited, and he's still going strong to this day. Then it don't seem like he's stopping no time soon. So when I was looking at that list, I was like, I would definitely put, it would have definitely been like Drake or Weezy. Right. You know what I mean? Or Tupac. And I'm saying Tupac because I'm selfish with that. I know he was my all-time favorite and shit coming up. And when it comes to statistics and numbers and sales, Drake and them niggas got to really come into play when they talk about sales, because he was running circles around everybody in the rap game at that time, no matter who it was. It was Bad Boy, it was J&M, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like,
speaking back to you and especially your eras, I have something for you now. Like, I'm not,
wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I remember that one.
2009.
Yes.
Complex cover.
Yeah.
Jim Jones. What do you remember about that cover? The
photo shoot.
What do you remember? Tell me about the photo shoot. What do you remember about that, man?
They had a stylist, and she was very adamant about putting me in weird clothes that I wasn't usually ready to wear. But it actually came out pretty dope. It helped me put a different spin on things that I could wear as opposed to things that I thought I couldn't wear. She had me looking fly.
Yeah,
the cover was dope. It was different for who Jim Jones was at that time. She put a different spin on how people saw me, especially on magazines and stuff. So when you see me in the cover of this magazine with the suit jacket on and the gloves and things like that, so it's pretty dope.
One of the stories you told in that interview, which I thought was crazy, was being with Cam, watching the BET Awards, and you hear H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy, and you like, wait a minute. Can you run me? What was that story?
That was crazy. That beat, Cam actually did a whole record to that beat. He was about to use it as a single. As you know, we signed to Rockefeller. We was all recording out a bass line, and Cam liked it, ended up recording to it. We was excited about it. BET Awards come on, we in Cam house. We kind of hear the beat, not thinking nothing of it. And we see Jay come out performing to that same beat and just like crushed us at that time. Because we was definitely counting on that record to come out and blast off. As you can see how it did it good for Jay-Z when he put it out. You know what I mean? So we was definitely tight about that one. I know Cam especially was tight, but shit. Hey man, shit happens, man. We had took the old boy beat from him, whether he really wanted it or not. So I guess that was his payback.
Back to the present day, your EP, Back in My Prime. I thought the name was interesting because how do you be in your prime once and reach it again? Talk to me about the name of that EP.
It's a dope project. It's different from the, I wouldn't say different, it's just a whole, it's another lane added to what Jim Jones is and things like that. But I know the females are definitely gonna dig this, and the guys dig whatever the females dig. I'm not saying it's something for the females, but it's something the females are gonna like to get busy to and things like that. Got a bunch of dope records on there. Shout out to Ty Dolla $ign, shout out to Jeremiah, shout out to Tink, shout out to Stefflon Don, shout out to Ball Greasy. I think people are gonna be thoroughly surprised and happy at the same time because this shit is hitting.
Hitmaker, heavy producer on the project as well. And we kind of talked about it a little bit before we started, but the samples were crazy. You got an Imaginary Players flip, but made it R&B. Like, talk to me about your sample choices and why you wanted.
Oh, they not my choices. Those are all Hitmaker's choices. That was the beauty of being able to collaborate with him. He pretty much put these hits in your lap and you just gotta fill in the blanks. I mean, from hooks to everything. So this was a different way for me to record because creatively, when you have so many things in order, this helps you out. It just makes the records come that much easier and things like that. So he comes to the table full prepared already, and it helps the artist out tremendously. So
also just thinking about the music you've been releasing lately, thinking of the Gangsta Grills tape, especially, what I really appreciated was how much love you showed to the young guys coming up in the New York drill scene. You know, Dusty Lil Kane's on that, Ross Swish is on that. What do you think of the new crop of artists coming out of the city?
Oh shit, I love them. As you see, I always work with the up and coming artists. I think they dope. They got a lot of energy. A lot of people got a lot of opinions on what drill music is and how they feel about it. But they need to respect what drill music has done for the temple of New York and things like that. Like, not saying it was the only reason that we're back in the music circle, but it's one of the main factors, the energy that these kids been projecting, and they've been really putting on for us and helping us get back inside this musical game.
100%. And the women in drill have also been really pushing it forward. I mean, Lola Brooke.
Yeah, the women are going hard. Yeah, the women.
Ice Spice. I mean, like, what's your thoughts on the women pushing the scene forward as well?
I'm not mad. I mean, we need more of that. I mean, there's so many dope rappers throughout the history of hip hop, but not at the magnitude that it is right now. Like, they really kind of bossing up. They're giving a lot of these guys a run for their money, which is pretty dope, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing more stronger than the black creative woman and things like that. So I tip my hat to all these artists, these queens that have been putting on for the city.
And I mean, we talked about earlier just how long you've been in the game and your longevity of it. And I think one of the most interesting things when talking to like an OG like yourself is, what does success look like now as a veteran who's accomplished so much already?
Success? I haven't thought about what success looks like right now. Success to me looks like my bills being paid every month. Me not having to struggle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The money in the business means way more to me than success, and I've learned that through having so much success.
My last question for you, Jim. We talked about just how expansive your career has been, seeing the way you can see forward to the future artists, the way you've looked back and recognized all that you've done. And this EP, Back in My Prime, it makes it sound like, you know, there's no, retirement isn't in the horizon at all.
Retirement, what is that? I mean, I don't think I have a job to retire. People say it like that and things like that, but we ain't on the basketball court. We ain't getting tired. You heard? We in the booth. Well, shit, I could do that shit with my eyes closed, and I'm getting paid for it. I don't know about retirement, you dig? It's part of business, it's part of me. I'll be able to do music forever if I wanted to. It's not about the rapping, it's about the message. It's about the responsibility I have, of the influence I have, and at the end of the day, getting across to these people how to not go through a lot of the shit that's going on outside of these streets and avoid all the pitfalls that I've been through and things like that. And not saying that I'm trying to impose my will on anybody, but you know, it's all about the message. You got youngsters coming up and things like that. So trying to be as responsible as I can, and I could do that through music forever. I could do that through speaking forever. Words are some of the most powerful things in the world. They're more powerful than weapons.
That's a great note to leave it off on, Jim. Appreciate you again for taking the time, man. OG Jim Jones. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.